Why was Tim Burchett removed from leading the hearing? What did David Grusch mean when he talked about extra-dimensional UFOs? What did Ryan Graves mean when he talked about a giant orb flanked by other UFOs in a formation? Well, let's go over all that and more in the latest David Grusch news roundup. Get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like, please subscribe, share on social media, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Okay, let's get into it. First of all, why didn't Tim lead the hearing? He said he was going to lead the hearing. Comer said he was going to lead the hearing. What's the deal? Well, let's find out.
Your backyard? I reached out yesterday out of respect because I didn't like to hear that they were messing with your ability to chair this. Why are you getting friction, and what do you think happens next?
Well, when you're over the target, Chris, that's when they fire at you the most. And I appreciated what you said about Senator McConnell. That showed incredible class and good taste, so thank you. I think that's missing in our political discourse today. But you know, we've been through this. We've worked, Representative Luna, myself, and others been working on this for months, actually. And you know, you rock a few boats. Maybe we misunderstood. I don't know. But I didn't want the attention to be about the chairmanship. I wanted it to be about what we're talking about, and transparency is something that we really have a problem with in government today, and it was a bipartisan effort. And some of the questions were excellent. Representative Luna, of course, stole the show with most of her questions. I just kind of batted cleanup, and it was a great day for the American public. I think that the UFO community and the people that just question what's going on in government had plenty of answers today. You know, we asked questions about, do we think people lost their lives because of this knowledge? And the answer was in the affirmative. You know, we were denied access to a skiff so we could get this information. Once again, another roadblock put up by both parties, by leadership, by the so-called intelligence community, as I like to say, the war pigs over at, or the war pimps, excuse me, over at the Pentagon. And, you know, it's just a continuation of that fact. And we'll vote to add them, and I'm sure, more billions of dollars unchecked, and they will continue thumbing their nose at the American public. Representative Luna, myself, and Representative Gates were denied access down at Eglin Air Force Base. We were told we were going to get this, and we were turned away. I mean, this is your military telling your elected officials what to do.
Anyway, so there you go. He says they were rocking the boat, and they were over the target, and that's when you get fired at the most, and that is why he was denied the chairmanship of this subcommittee hearing. He also leaves the room open for maybe he just misunderstood. Well, anything's possible. However, Comer, who is the real chairman of that subcommittee, specifically said he was delegating this task to Tim Burchett. So I don't think that Tim misunderstood. I don't know what was going on there, unless it was some sort of, cover-up or some attempt by the cover-up to, suppress the hearing or minimize the hearing or in some way interfere with the hearing. As Tim said, maybe he was rocking too many boats. I don't know. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Could it have simply just been a misunderstanding? Meanwhile, let's talk about the giant UFO Ryan Graves was talking about. It was a giant red orb, and it was in some sort of formation with other orbs or something. It was some crazy thing, right? So what was he talking about? Well, reporter Christopher Sharp actually has some witnesses that came to him, or at least one witness reporting on a very similar incident. And this is what the orb looked like with his naked eyes, and then he put on some night vision goggles to see it better or more clearly, and it looked like that. So, this big orb surrounded by these other smaller vehicles or craft or beings or whatever they are. And so is this what we're talking about, the big orb in a formation with other orbs? Is that what we're looking at? Is that what we're talking about? Very intriguing. I don't know how these ships operate or what they do or why they're doing it, why they're showing up at secret military bases, but they are definitely doing it. and they are not Chinese or Russian drones. They don't even seem to make any sense according to our understanding of things. So what is that understanding of things? Well, David Grusch in the hearing talked about how these beings or these ships may be other dimensional. Of course, the congressperson that he was talking to was a very nuts and bolts guy, and he probably wanted to pin it all on Chinese and Russian drones. And so he didn't really push David for a lot of details on that. But David did say that it was his understanding that, and he was talking about these other dimensional objects in the frame of reference of the holographic principle. So one of the viewers on my channel asked the very good question, well, what the heck is the holographic principle? I had heard of this, primarily through my research into near-death experiences. And I think that research is actually very relevant to the overall discussion on UFOs because of the other dimensional nature of it. And anyway, that's a whole different conversation. But what is the holographic concept of reality? Well, there's various definitions. Here's from Wikipedia. The holographic principle states that the entropy of ordinary mass, not just black holes, is also proportional to surface area and not volume. The volume itself is illusory, and the universe is really a hologram, which is isomorphic to the information inscribed on the surface of its boundary. And let's dumb it down for me, Internet. What's a more meat and potatoes definition? What is the holographic concept of reality? The holographic universe principle suggests that we're living in a simulated reality. This is different from the hypothesis that states we live in a computer simulation. Essentially, it claims our physical world is nothing more than a detailed illusion. Now, that is the general wisdom and information that I get from studying near-death experiences. This reality is a created reality, which is not the same as the computer simulation model that many believe in. And this definition makes that clear distinction. But, we are all eternal beings, and we or God or somebody have created this reality for us to go into and experience this flesh and blood 3D reality for whatever reason. And different experiencers come away with different reasons why that may be the case. And there may be multiple reasons. But that model of reality, or the uber reality, is very much relevant to the holographic principle and what David Grusch is talking about, and from my own research into UFOs and the other dimensional nature of these objects, and even my own experience with these objects. I'm sure a lot of UFOs probably are nuts and bolts 3D objects, with little green men from another planet in our reality. However, a lot of them, probably most of these encounters or these sightings, are actually much stranger and more interesting than that. And here is an important point from Ross Coulthard.
So, because this is the point, Elizabeth, Congress already knows the answers privately. Evidence has already been taken by the Senate Select Committee for Intelligence, and I suspect also the HPSI, the House Committee for Intelligence. They've already deposed witnesses who have corroborated Mr. Grusch's claims. So we're in this very weird situation where the Oversight Committee is now engaged. And one of the issues with the Oversight Committee is I question whether it has the degree of security classification authorization.
No, that's the issue, because that's why we should explain. A SCIF is a secure room where members of Congress and others can view classified information, but it's highly, highly secure. You can't take things out of the SCIF. Nobody can hear or eavesdrop into the SCIF. And that's the problem. There might have been briefings to the Select Committee on Intelligence, but today's committee, the Oversight Committee, has not had access to the IG classified complaint, has not had access, and was denied access to go into the SCIF and read these classified documents. So that was a little bit of the frustration there. And David Grusch has filed a whistleblower complaint alleging that he faced serious repercussions for going to Congress already with his claims.
So yeah, that's what I wanted to bring to your attention, is this idea of the different committees and how they have different access. And, I've talked about numerous times that David Grusch has given this information to Congress 2 years ago, and they have done nothing with it. It wasn't until he came public that something actually started to happen. And maybe that's because the intelligence committees that he was reporting this information to are part of the cover-up. And of course, I guess that would make sense, right? Either they're part of the cover-up, or they've been co-opted by the cover-up, or influenced by it, or their actions have been suppressed by it. But now that all of this has come to the House Oversight Committee in a very public way, it looks like something might actually get done, but they don't have the access that the intelligence committees have. So what needs to happen is somehow we need to get that committee or subcommittee, the Oversight Committee, access to the same sorts of things that the intelligence committees have. Because finally we have a group of congresspeople actually committed to UAP disclosure and information. And here's another interesting thing to have come out of the hearing. Elon Musk might finally be on board with ETs. Here's his latest tweet. I'm not saying there are aliens, but ... So Elon Musk is now considering the possibility that we are not alone. He has been a debunker and a skeptic of all things UFO for a long time, despite sending up rockets into space himself. But now, thanks to David Grusch and the people that have brought this to the public, Elon Musk is on board, or at least getting there. So let me know your thoughts about all of this news and updates in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. Sure would appreciate it. Smash the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on Facebook and Twitter or Xer or whatever it is now. And there are plenty of other videos to check out on the channel. See you next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.